Hello, good morning. It's a beautiful autumn day. A couple of days ago, we talked about this phrase, close a deal, strike a deal, cut a deal. 합의를 이루다. And when you come to an agreement, you could say, strike a deal, right? And we are going to build upon that, strike a deal. Today, we are going to talk about strike a balance. Strike a balance, 균형을 이루다. I need to strike a balance between work and play. Or many people these days are interested in work and life balance, right? A lot of workers these days need to strike a balance between their personal happiness and their career. And another example is strike a bargain. Union workers are trying to strike a bargain with their company. Also, we talked about work out a deal, hammer out a deal, right? And another phrase that's similar to this is hash out a deal. H-A-S-H, hash out a deal. Hash originally means to chop meat into tiny pieces. 고기를 잘게 썰다. But hash out is the same as work out a deal. Like a good example could be this. The government is trying to hash out a final deal over the purchase of vaccines with the drug companies. A trade deal was hashed out between two countries. Now, curb, C-U-R-B. Curb is, in Korean, 연석, 차도와 보도를 경계하는 도리죠. 차가 보도로 오는 것을 막습니다. So as a verb, it's stop or control, right? Stop, control, or a limit. Keep in check, keep at bay. Wearing a mask in public is the best way to curb the spread of coronavirus. The central bank is planning to curb inflation by raising interest rates. Too many middle school students are smoking. Parents need to find a way to curb smoking among teenagers. You need to curb your anger. And curb in this case is the same as keep in check. You need to keep your anger in check, right? This is also similar to our mantra. You have to keep your pride in check. You have to keep your hubris in check. Now, keep something at bay, B-A-Y. At bay. Keep something at bay. At bay, 적이 오지 못하게 바닷가의 만에 묶어두다 or 막다, right? So it works almost similar to curb. So today, I'd like you to remember the three phrases. Curb, keep in check, or keep at bay. Korean troops were able to keep advancing enemy soldiers at bay. Eating oranges keep colds at bay. Eating kimchi keeps obesity at bay. The central bank is raising interest rates to keep inflation at bay. Affront, A-F-F-R-O-N-T, affront. Affront is 모욕 or 모독, insult. Affront is insult, but as you can see, affront has front, F-R-O-N-T. Front means face. So face에 대고 하는 모독, affront. High-profile elite politicians in Korea give their children high-paying public sector jobs through their connections. It's an affront to the hard-working general public. Discrimination against women is an affront to basic human rights. Or discrimination of any kind is an affront to human dignity. 인간존엄에 대한 모독. This is a very typical cliche expression. Okay, affront to the general public, affront to basic human rights. Now, tyrant, T-Y-R-A-N-T. Tyrant means cruel ruler. cruel ruler, 폭군 or 독재자, tyrant. Now, coerce, C-O-E-R-C-E, coerce, adjective, coercive, noun form, coercion. force는 일반적인 강제. 그러나 pressure or violence를 이용해서 위협하고 강요할 때, it's a coerce, C-O-E-R-C-E. Like if you don't get vaccinated, you will lose your job, right? That's a coerce. So many nurses are coerced into getting vaccinated in America these days. But this story is about vaccine mandates. State pressure has a role in public health. COVID-19 shots are no exception. On September 11th, 2001, when Al-Qaeda attacked America, almost 3,000 people died. In response, the government overhauled national security and, for better or worse, struck a new balance between liberty and security. On the 20th anniversary of 9/11, roughly 3,100 people in America died because of COVID-19. Another 3,100 died on September 12th, and again on the 13th. By our estimates, the pandemic has claimed 860,000 lives in America. Yet measures to curb the virus by mandating vaccination are being treated by senior Republicans as a terrifying affront to liberty. This is still America, tweeted Tate Reeves, the governor of Mississippi, and we still believe in freedom from tyrants. That is fatally wrong-headed. The details of the Biden mandate could be improved on, but in democracies, public health sometimes requires some coercion. Across the world, governments from France to Australia are using pressure of one sort or another to boost vaccination. That should be no surprise. Ever since vaccines were invented, the state has asked some people to be jabbed to keep viruses such as yellow fever at bay. State pressure has a role in public health. COVID-19 jabs are no exception. On September 11, 2001, when a terrorist organization, Al-Qaeda, attacked America, almost 30,000 people died. In response, the government transformed its national security and, for better or worse, struck a new balance between liberty and security. On 20th anniversary of 9/11, roughly 3,100 people in America died because of COVID-19. Another 3,100 died on September 12th, and again on the 13th. By our estimates, based on excess deaths, the pandemic has claimed 860,000 lives in America. Yet measures to curb the virus by mandating vaccination, which the Biden administration announced September 9th, are being treated by senior Republicans as a terrifying affront to liberty. This is still America, twisted Tate Reeves, the governor of Mississippi, and we still believe in freedom from tyrants. That is fatally wrong-headed. The details of the Biden mandate could be improved on, but in democracies, public health sometimes requires some coercion. Across the world, governments from France to Australia are using pressure of one sort or another to boost the vaccination. That should be no surprise. Ever since vaccines were invented, the state has asked some people to be jabbed to keep viruses such as yellow fever at bay.